everybody. Welcome to the opening bell here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real honor and it's a privilege to be with everybody. We are on the 30th of October. I told y'all we're pushing through very, very quickly. And we want to get started on what's happening in the markets. Just before we do that, remember, all information we discuss in these sessions, they should be seen as our opinion and should not be construed as advice in any way. That's going to be key for us, yeah? But we're ready to get down and ready to see what's happening in the markets, guys. No trading room this afternoon at 2, so you better be there, all right? We have some fundamentals for you guys, just a market summary at least. U.S. markets this morning, guys, the U.S. futures, that's the U.S. 30, the NAS 100, as well as the S&P 500. They shifted a little bit higher after President Trump met with China's President Xi Jinping. So what came out of the meeting was that the U.S. will cut some tariffs on China. They're going to cut it in half, and then China will pause restrictions on rare earth exports and buy U.S. soybeans again. All right, so that's some good news from a trade perspective. We also know that the Fed cut those rates by 25 basis points. The cut is done, and there was no hints to any guarantee that another cut is going to be this year. So, with that being said, already there might be some strength coming into the U.S. dollar because of that, okay? Big tech earnings were mixed. Here's the US 30 now. There we go. Big tech earnings were a little bit mixed. We saw Google jumped on strong results. Meta dropped after big one-time costs. And, Microsoft slipped after losses from its AI investment. And then also the G7, countries there, the US obviously playing a big role. Will form a new alliance to secure key minerals and reduce dependence on China. So, in the market review meeting this morning, mentioned to the guys, what an interesting thing it is that, on the one side, there is a new deal in place. And on the other side, there's something else being done, kind of like to boot, what it may seem as China, because 90% of all processes depends on China. So, and for them to read those headlines as well is also interesting. I mean, just imagine you had some news running about yourself, and that people are taking a different direction from you as a supplier, as an example, right? So how would you feel? So that's a very interesting thing, how people really take out emotions when it comes to business. Very, very, very cutthroat. Investors, obviously, guys, if you're looking at the U.S. indices, investors are waiting for Apple and Amazon results, their earnings. And we're going to see and wait to see if there's any movement. But we have some key areas that we're looking at. And please remember, these are at this point for the morning. That's where we're at, around 4.7, 4.97. And we will then go into 2 o'clock today to see if, in fact, we are pushing down here. There's a gap here. So this is a key support area the guys do not want to miss. The same with the AUS 200. If you look at the 1 hour frame, you can see that price has really huddled up quite a bit in this specific, place here. And it seems like we're still pushing down here. Now, if you count the past 7 days, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is the 7th day from here. You can see we are well below that specific support. So that's a key zone, guys. All right, so we are below that area. Now, if you count another 7, so that's 7, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. See, if we break this area here, do you see that's the 14 there? So if we break that specific zone, we're looking to come down, all right? So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, there's 20, there's 21. So as you can see, the past trading month cycle, all right, we're currently beneath. All right. And so we're looking for some further downside. But again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Just so you can know that it's really below a lot of key areas here. And so we need another break. All right. And if you put on your line chart, you'll see it right there. So if we come down, we're coming back down to these areas over here, these two here. That's the AUS 200. All right. Especially if that Aussie dollar strengthens, we're going to see that move. All right. And then From a oil perspective, guys, just something on the oil there as well for the guys that are watching it, because we are looking at the pullbacks on those indices. That's a Russell 2000, German DAX, a US 200, and the US 30, all pullbacks. That's what we're looking for. But we're going to see if that actually transpires and becomes a reality. Something on the oil, guys, it did slip to $60 a barrel. Traders did watch the US-China trade talks. OPEC will meet soon to discuss output plans, with prices still on track for a third monthly drop. So we are looking at that area. I believe last week, Tuesday, we back at that same support. I mentioned it to the guys that if we can drop down again below 59.72, we might just push down to $58 a barrel. If the dollar strengthens today, we're going to see that drop. All right, we're going to see that drop here. Well, it should be from a fundamental perspective. Remember, guys, when it comes to fundamentals, any economic report or any political situation that happens, there are key correlating factors that happen. Example, when the dollar strengthens, you're going to see less demand for safe haven. So that would mean gold would come down, okay? But if the dollar weakens, we see gold go up. So there are correlating factors that kick in fundamentally. That's important to remember. But it does not mean that it's always the case. 80 to 85% of the time, I would even stretch it as 90% of the time, fundamentals, when there's big releases or there's big news, yes, the correlating patterns, they merge and they work together. However, we've seen many times where that's not the case, okay? We've seen, we're supposed to see the strength in the dollar, but it does not come, all right? Because there are mitigating factors there as well. Traders or investors may not be looking in that direction, and they're looking in a different direction, so which means cash is probably still sitting there and they've not taken that out, and they're moving to something else. So one would have to engage it a little bit more thoroughly and with more detail to look at inflows and outflows on whether that specific correlation happens. But like I said, 85 to 90% of the time, you're going to see fundamentals has a dramatic effect on the markets. And then, guys, just so you do know, we're also looking at platinum here. Also something to check out at this point in time. Platinum, yesterday was a very good day here. We saw a beautiful push to the upside. But again, this was accumulation. We had the first move to the upside, and then we had a correction. Now this morning, watch out for platinum, all right? We have not accumulated correctly here yet. There's no proper accumulation yet. So I'd like to see price, if we're going up, I'd like to see price drop down first today, and then later on we push up, or price come up and then we come down for a second time here to create a lower low. It's going to be very, very important for us to look at that today. All right. Check out the NZD USD. So, I'm giving a nice update here. We will be checking out some more. Price did push down, with the NZD USD very nicely here. So I'm really engaging to see if there's some good US dollar strength today. You can trade the dollar index with us, guys, via our MT4 platform. We have obviously put in a request there, so that we can have it on the MT5 as well. And obviously there are factors, internally that management will look at. But nonetheless, all right, we were looking at the dollar index this morning, and we did see it at the 98-point area. Check it out on the MT4 platform there, all right? And if we can get a break above the 99-point resistance, that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. Because then we're going to see some dollar strength coming through here. And I can't wait for that. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for that. So we're going to see, all right, beneath the 0.5762, if we come down below to 57 and maybe even lower as well. We're going to have to wait and see. All right. And then lastly here, guys, GBP NZD. Been playing so many games with me. I've been watching this sucker over here, guys. I'm looking for that long here. I'm looking for the long. Look at that. It's done phenomenal so far. It's pushed up nicely. It's broken down, broken up, come back again. You can't see it. And I'm looking for 2.29617. That's what I'm looking at for the GBP NZD. But I'll be back with this at 2 o'clock via the trading room. So you better be there. All right. And then obviously, guys, if you'd like to open up an account with us, don't forget to visit www.tdmarkets.com. I think I mentioned too many W's there, only 3. .tdmarkets.com. And you can also email us at care@tdmarkets.com. But I'm looking forward to spending time with you guys today at 2. There's no fundamental news, so we're going to be tackling the technicals hard, all right, this afternoon. So make sure you tell someone to get in with us here at 2 o'clock via YouTube. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's it from me here this morning with some fundamentals, a bit of updates on the FX, and we're going to see what happens towards the end of the week. All right, have a fantastic one, guys. See you at 2 o'clock today. Ashley Reeve here, and I'm signing out. Ciao, ciao.